Welcome to this explainer. I am so thrilled to be your guide today as we explore a truly empowering concept. So often society loves to tell us that facing significant hardship leaves a permanent mark of damage. We get told that going through the ringer means you come out the other side somehow diminished or broken. But the research and insights we're unpacking today present a radically different narrative. We're looking at the intelligence of the unbroken. We're going to explore the compelling signs that your past hardships, rather than breaking you, might have actually forged you into something incredibly sharp. So, get comfortable and let's rethink everything we thought we knew about surviving adversity.
So I want you to ask yourself, did your past actually make you sharper? Seriously, take a second and genuinely reflect on your own past challenges. Think about the absolute hardest mountains you've had to climb. Now, naturally, you probably focus on the pain or the struggle of those moments. But what if the very things that tested you the most also gave you a cognitive edge? What if they literally upgraded your mental operating system? We're about to unpack a major paradigm shift regarding how we view adversity, and by the end of this explainer, you might just look at your own history through an entirely new, deeply empowering lens.
Okay, let's dive into this. The traditional and honestly kind of exhausting belief is that experiencing trauma strictly causes emotional damage, that it's just this constant deficit you have to manage forever. But the reality? The reality is far more profound. Genuine adversity actually restructures the brain for unique intelligence. We aren't just talking about building basic emotional resilience or learning to bounce back. We're talking about a fundamental neurological restructuring of your brain's processing power. Your brain adapts to extreme stress by rewiring itself to become way more perceptive, more efficient, and highly attuned to its environment.
So we define the intelligence of the unbroken as the brain's unique restructuring following genuine adversity to process the world with unique intelligence. I absolutely love how this gives a hard biological foundation to what is so often a deeply personal and misunderstood experience. This isn't just poetic phrasing, right? When you go through genuine adversity, your brain literally changes its architecture. It learns to process the world completely differently to ensure you survive. The result is a distinct, razor-sharp intelligence that people who simply haven't faced that level of hardship just do not possess. It's like you upgraded from a standard processor to a high-performance engine just to survive the terrain. It's a profound adaptation.
Now, the source material actually identifies 7 distinct signs of this specialized intelligence. But for our explainer today, I want to keep things incredibly focused and punchy. So we're zeroing in on 3 specific traits that really stand out as the most powerful indicators of a restructured mind: a tolerance for ambiguity, a loss of appetite for social performance, and a heightened ability to read a room. If you've been through the fire, I guarantee you're going to recognize these traits immediately. Let's break them down.
Trait number 1, the gray area, or your tolerance for ambiguity. Let's talk about tolerance for ambiguity. For most folks, ambiguity is straight up terrifying. Unclear or unpredictable situations trigger immense anxiety and panic. But for the unbroken mind, ambiguity is just familiar territory. Because your brain was restructured by unpredictable, genuine adversity, it doesn't panic when things aren't perfectly clear anymore. Instead, it activates this unique, sharpened capability to navigate the gray areas of life. Think about a chaotic office meeting where the project parameters suddenly change and the deadline gets moved up. While everyone else is freezing up because they don't have all the answers, you are calmly processing the variables, making decisions and moving forward. You've survived total chaos in the past, so an uncertain Tuesday at work simply doesn't short-circuit your system. That is a massive cognitive advantage.
Let's move to trait number 2 and see how this builds. Dropping the act, or a loss of appetite for social performance.
Think about how much energy the average person spends curating an artificial image or agonizing over small talk at some networking event. It's exhausting. Well, when you faced genuine adversity, you undergo a fundamental shift in your values. Going through hardship strips away the desire, and quite frankly the energy, to put on an artificial act for others. Your restructured brain starts prioritizing authenticity and survival over superficial approval. You suddenly have zero tolerance for fake interactions. You stop performing and start simply existing authentically. And guess what? That frees up a tremendous amount of mental bandwidth that you can apply to things that actually matter.
Which brings us to trait number 3, the survival radar, also known as reading the room.
Now, what's really interesting about this is that the source material calls it a survival-based form of emotional intelligence, and that is perhaps the most profound trait we're looking at today. When we usually hear emotional intelligence, we picture corporate seminars or learning how to be polite in emails. But this is entirely different. When you endure severe adversity, your brain actually learns to scan environments for threats. You learn to notice the micro-expressions on people's faces, the subtle shifts in tone, the unspoken tension lingering in the air. You had to learn this to stay safe. But the amazing part is, once the danger is past, that hyper-awareness remains. It evolves from a pure survival mechanism into a brilliant cognitive tool. You can walk into a room and instantly understand the power dynamics, the hidden agendas, and the true emotional states of everyone around you, often before a single word is even spoken.
Section 4. The takeaway. Let's look at the unbroken mind as a whole.
So the crucial point is how this all flows together. Step 1. You experienced genuine adversity. It was real, and it was undeniably difficult. Step 2. That experience didn't break you. It actually restructured your brain. It physically altered how you process data, threats, and social dynamics. Which leads directly to Step 3, the emergence of a unique intelligence. This logical flow is exactly why this paradigm shift is such an empowering validation of your own experiences. The ambiguity you easily tolerate, your total refusal to engage in fake social performances, your almost psychic ability to read a room, these aren't quirks or trauma responses to be fixed. They are the hard-earned symptoms of a mind that has been sharpened by the fire.
So I'll leave you with this question. How will you use your unbroken intelligence today? It is absolutely time to stop viewing the scars of your past as liabilities and start recognizing them as the exact source of your unique sharpness. I challenge you today to look at your past differently. Recognize these traits in yourself not as damage, but as your strategic advantage in the world. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep reflecting, and step into the power of your unbroken mind.